This is going to be a hard one. Welcome back to my channel. I'm your recently got diagnosed with ADHD bestie, Sita. Ever since I got diagnosed with ADHD, a lot of things started to make sense, especially in work. I was always troubled with the fact that I am not as organized as I wanted to be or as my job expect me to be, let alone following order or even just processing simple verbal instructions. So I was thinking, maybe it's just because I'm young, or this job is not perfectly for me, or there is a mismatch between me and the team. I was kind of hoping that this time would be different. And after month and month of frustrations and self-doubting and self-hating, and then I will have that impulse moment to say, damn it, I don't care anymore, I am done. I'm very lucky. To be honest, I'm very lucky. I think ever since I graduated, I never had that waiting period, waiting for people to assess me and interview me. Most of the time, I just got the job. I proved myself quite well in the first couple months until the same problem coming up, which is consistency. I hate doing repetitive work. I hate doing things that I'm not interested in, and obviously as part of the society, that's something we have to do, and I am aware of it. I just didn't expect it would cost me so much pain. In the beginning, I could tell myself that, oh, it's just artist soul, let's lose that, let's try to fit in the society, let's try to do what you expect it to be. And then whenever there's something happen, I will always tell myself, you have to do better, you have to perform better. When I switched my career into a more freelance situation, I was so happy. Even though I wasn't making as much, I don't need to report to anyone. I can do it the way I like to. However, when it comes to dealing with clients, I realize I am still not good at organizing or functioning whenever I want myself to function, and that is extremely frustrated. And that's why I thought, hey, maybe I should go out again and work in an office job again, and maybe this time something will change. And this time I have absolutely no excuse because I found my dream job. My bosses, they are extremely supportive. I open up to them during the interview. I told them that I have ADHD. I would love to get organized and systematic, but obviously it's not something I'm super good at, but I would love to give it a try. So I got the job, and that's hooray. I was so happy about it, and I feel like maybe this time I can finally prove myself useful. Until entering third month, it was a very chaotic time and confusing time for me. I was also 3 months after I got diagnosed with ADHD. My personal life is chaotic. My ADHD was impacting on myself, on my relationship, and my work, so my mind is literally everywhere. And the saddest part is, I thought my job is the only thing that if I put effort in there and it will show result. That is the only faith I have that support me when through that period. And I cried so many times because I keep receiving the feedback of the same thing. You're not consistent, you are not closing the loop, you don't know how to prioritize. It is so frustrated, especially in an environment that you know your boss is trying to help you out. Like, they're literally giving me so much support that I never received, even with my parents, and they're willing to give me time and willing to accommodate for me. Sadly, I don't know what accommodation I need. I don't know what should I do, and I don't know what kind of help I can receive. I remember I always cried whenever my boss chat with me uncontrollably, and he even said like, yo, you can't start crying every time I talk to you. And I was like, I know this is not personal, this is just because there's so much emotion and I can't process it, and that's why my body is reacting to it. I am scared to go to work. I am scared to face the fact that maybe I am not capable for my positions or my dream, and that is a very, very scary thought. There are so many moments that I can't even remember, and I feel like there's no hope. What if I quit this job? Is things gonna change? I don't think so. I think it's still gonna be the same problem where I have trouble regulating my emotions. I'm always chasing dopamine that makes repetitive works extremely boring to me. Sometimes it was just too much thoughts streaming inside my head and I can't literally move. I'll be staring at a screen and trying to work for 3 hours and nothing. And honestly, like every time when I experience something like this, it's very hard to not drag yourself into that very negative space, especially when you eliminate all the other factors. So it's not because you have a non-supportive boss or manager, and it's not because you don't have enough trust in you. Then what's left? There's only me. The moment when I start believing that I am the problem, I can't stop thinking about it. I just felt like I don't know how much fight is there left inside me. I don't know how many times I'm gonna trumble over the same problem. I'm really scared of what my dad will say if I call him and say like, hey, I can't do this anymore, I'm quitting. And I'm really scared his disappointing face and all those thoughts storming inside my brain when the moment I wanted to give up, because I don't know how many times it happened over the same goddamn reason that I still haven't found a good enough method to deal with. I really stressed out when people keep telling me that I have potential. I'm tired to see how I didn't fulfill other people's expectation again, and I feel so guilty about it. And I always ask myself, is there anything I could do better? But you know what? This time, after 6 months of being diagnosed with ADHD, I found not a solution, but a stopper that helps me stop those self-blaming thoughts and those negative thoughts and focus on what is the most important things, is the fact that I know that I have ADHD. And that makes the thing that I keep getting tripped over with more like a problem. Well, it's not because I am dumb or something. It's because there is a problem. And that makes me realize that I am not the problem. I am the person who solved that problem. Being someone who grew up in a more conservative societies with higher expectations in both academic and work performance, and somehow that tied into my self-identities. And if I failed in certain work or my school, then that makes me a loser. Or if I failed in a relationship, that makes me someone unlovable, and that is not true. That is so not true. My self-confidence should be coming from inside of myself, and it's not relate to any of those. Self-validation matters, and that's what it is in the end of the day, I think, because I'm still in this journey of finding what can help and how can I do better. Of course, it's frustrating and feel like I'm always beating around the same bush. And yes, I have wondered if I am in a wrong positions. But I wouldn't know unless I give out everything. I think being ADHD, I'm definitely heavily impacted by my impulsiveness. I break up with people very easily, decided to give up on something or start something very easily. I always wonder what's new, what's going to be new. I tend to start over, and I tend to move to a new city and start over. I don't think it's going to change. I really don't think I'll be able to completely wipe that impulsiveness out of my life. And to be honest, some of the most amazing things in my life happened because of my impulsiveness. But I think being aware of the fact that I have ADHD allow me to give myself a little bit more credit, a little bit more validations. When I separated myself from what compliment other people might give me, or what criticism, or how people gonna see me as a person, I started to trust myself a little bit more. I started to see things differently because I know there will be someone always backing me up. And that someone is not going to be my dad, not going to be my partner, not going to be anyone, even though I would love to have those support. But being able to source that validation and confirmation inside of me allow me to focus a little bit more on solving the current problem. If that problem is just unsolvable at this current moment, I have the courage to start from scratch again. I am just me, and I have a lot of possibilities. And I truly, truly believe that. And I truly believe I have the power to survive. We're going to be facing so much frustrations and challenge, and especially, everyone is. And especially if you're neurodivergent, things is going to be a little bit different. But the good thing is, more and more people start talking about it, and we started to realize that we are not alone. And I hope to share my stories to those who are struggling with their life, their performances. It's just a moment, this moment, and this is not who you are. This could be a lesson. There's no right or wrong. Self-validation gives me strength to look inside me. And I'm almost turning 24 at the end of the month. And you know what I'm proud of myself? I am proud the fact that I am only depressed for 2 hours today. Last time, it took me 2 days to get to this. And the last time, it took me almost a month to get out of it. And you see, I call that a progress. So, thank you again for listening. I really appreciate all your support and kind word. I wanted to tell you that you're not alone. And the frustration is real. It's also this moment. Everything is gonna get better. All right, I will see you next time.